Hi YouTube, it's your girl Crystal. Welcome back to my channel, guys. I missed you guys so much. So guys, today we're going to be watching the top 13 haunted houses in New York City. So I'm kind of curious because I am from New York and I wanted to know what places are haunted in my city. So give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and also share the videos. It'll get my videos to a greater audience. It also get recommended to people that like haunted videos and reactions. So we're gonna get started. Okay guys, so here we go. Alright
guys. Number 13, Merchant's House Museum. This historic NoHo townhouse was once owned by the Treadwell family, and it appears that one member is still living there. Gertrude Treadwell, the last Treadwell to live in the house until her death in 1933, is thought to be keeping an eye on the house she grew up in. Strange sights, sounds, and smells have been reported since becoming one of the more obscure museums 3 years later. However, the staff appears unfazed, as ghost tours are frequently offered here. Number 12, the Ear Inn. This Soho landmark pub, one of the city's oldest drinking establishments, is said to have a long-term patron who likes to make his presence known. Back in the day, sailors and longshoresmen would flock here for a drink. One of them hasn't left yet. Mickey, a cheeky ghost, is said to have a tragic ending. He was a sailor who was killed by a car in front of the bar. But he mostly makes himself known by flirting with the ladies at the bar.
Okay, guys, just imagine you working at a bar and then there's a ghost that's trying to flirt with you. Oh my god, like I'll be so flattered, but then I'll be scared at the same time.
Dr. Best House and Medical Exhibit, Middleburg.
I'm so hot, guys.
The well-preserved doctor's home and office provide curious onlookers with a snapshot of life in the late 1800s. Well, that's cool and all. The collection of crude mid-1600s medical instruments will send shivers down your spine. Not only that, but Dr. Best and his wife and son all died inside the house.
Oh, no.
Paranormal investigations have found soaring EVP levels, along with the faint sounds of the Best family and a tinkling piano. Number 10, Utica State Hospital. This was the state of New York's first state-run hospital. Though it opened in 1843, the hospital for mentally ill patients was ahead of its time when compared to other institutions in the state, or possibly anywhere else. Though it appeared that the patients would be well cared for, what occurred behind closed doors was something no one could have known unless they had been inside. Patients were frequently subjected to electroshock treatments and lobotomies. The rooms were small and cramped, and the conditions were anything but sanitary. One of the hospital's facilitators created a cage to punish misbehaving residents, or to calm down any patients who may have acted out. This was dubbed the Utica Crib. Many people who have lived near the hospital, or have just passed through, have reported seeing faces in the windows and hearing screaming coming from the building. Despite the fact that the general public is not permitted to enter the building on their own, the local government will occasionally host tours of the Utica State Hospital for anyone interested in paranormal activity. Number 9.
So I want to go back to the psychiatric place. So basically we have more than one here. I think I ran into another one that was not too far from my house. It was actually about like 10 minutes away. And me personally, I was gonna explore it, but then I don't know, guys. I know I mentioned this a couple times in these videos. If you guys are interested, I know I'm gonna be regretting this if I do say it. I mean, if you want me to explore the abandoned psychiatric place that's like 10 minutes away from where I'm at, let me know in the comments. I know I'm gonna probably be regretting this if I end up doing it, because this place I drive by it a lot, and one of the things is in New York you really can't go into abandoned places without getting caught. So it's gotta be really I don't know, guys. Let me know. Let me know what you guys think about that. I know that my fiance wanted us to explore it before we move out of state. Yeah, let me know, guys, because I don't know. And if you guys do say yes, I'll think about it. But just give me some time to think about it because I'm really scared of the paranormal. And I never dealt with the paranormal before, so this will be my first time. So I don't know like what the precautions are when people go into haunted places. So yeah, let me know, guys.
Iron Islands Museum. If you're looking for a place where paranormal activity might just be guaranteed to happen, look no further than Buffalo's Iron Island Museum. At one point, this served as both a funeral parlor and a church. Rumor has it, the ashes of a military vet named Edgar Zernick has gone unclaimed for years. It was for this reason that this specter might be hanging around the museum. Also, you might want to be on the lookout for any sightings and sounds that may sound remotely like paranormal activity. After all, this was once a funeral parlor. If you're among the crazy brave, you'd be crazy not to check this place out. Number 8.
They said I
Rolling
would be
Hills
crazy if I don't
Asylums.
check that place out. Yeah.
Given
I'm
that there
crazy
were a
now.
few asylums throughout the state of New York, one of them appears to outnumber the other in terms of paranormal activity stories. During its operation, over 17,000 people were buried, the vast majority of whom were in unmarked graves. Because they didn't have a place to live, vagrants would work in the fields at the farmhouse. Following that, the house was transformed into a hospital both for medical purposes and as a sanatorium for tuberculosis patients, among other things. It was then used as a psych ward, where an inmate named Roy died. He is said to have taken the form of a spirit, which has long been described as a 7-foot shadow man who haunts visitors. Number 7. Sleepy Hollow Cemetery. Ah, yes, Sleepy Hollow. You've probably heard of the famous Washington Irving story Ichabod Crane and the Headless Horseman.
Oh, yeah.
And you've most likely seen the various film or television adaptations of that story. Believe it or not, Irving is among those who have chosen this cemetery as their final resting place.
So there is a movie called The Sleeping Hollow, and it has Johnny Depp in it. I actually like it because I don't know, I'm into horror. So if you guys ever seen it, let me know down in the comments. But Johnny Depp is in it, and it's a really good movie. It's about the Headless Horseman that basically he got his head chopped off, and then he's getting revenge on people, taking their heads and basically stuffing them in a tree where he's at to get his head back. So basically, that's basically what the timeline's about. Yeah, so if you want to see it, it's called Sleeping Hollow, and it's with Johnny Depp.
The stories of those buried here are frequently more horrific than the legend of the Headless Horseman. Murders, suicides, and a few scandals are among the stories that will have you spooked by the time you finish the local tours they offer. Number 6. Burn Bray Mansion, Glen Spey. Once part of a large estate for the president of Singer Sewing Company, this Victorian bed and breakfast has frightened more than a few greenhorns. Private ghost hunters and guests alike have sworn to seeing a woman pacing the halls and to hearing unexplained noises, footsteps, and music from an unseen piano. Can't bear the thought of an overnight stay? The mansion's fall BYOB
I would
murder
never
mystery
stay.
dinners
I would
serve
never stay
suspense
overnight at a
without as
haunted
many
place.
spooks.
You can pay me $1 million.
Number
I still won't
5.
do it.
Bellhurst Castle and Winery, Geneva. Visits to this wine-obsessed hotel in the Finger Lakes may include more than one type of spirit. Patrons have claimed to see a forlorn woman in white standing silently on the front lawn of the late 1800s Romanesque revival structure, which has served as a casino, supper club, and Prohibition-era speakeasy over the years. According to legend, she was an Italian opera singer named Isabella who went to the castle with her lover, only to die when one of the castle's tunnels collapsed on top of her.
Oh, wow.
Number 4. Rolling Hills Asylum, East Bethany. Consider your prayers answered if you ever wanted to explore an abandoned asylum with only a flashlight and an EVP meter. These rooms are filled with hospital beds, ratty dolls, and old medical equipment, all of which add to the eerie atmosphere. Visit the second floor of the East Wing to see if the Shadow People hallway lives up to its ominous name. Fun fact, the former poorhouse was a fitting location for American Horror Story Asylum. Number 3. Buffalo Central Terminal, Buffalo. The Buffalo Central Terminal is another attraction close to the Iron Island Museum. This train station had been closed for more than 40 years. However, even today, some of the people coming and going from the terminal are among the dead. Some people have reported seeing the movements of various shadowy figures, and even feeling watched by an unknown figure. Rose, a female spirit, is said to be one of those spirits. The central terminal is in disrepair and appears to be in need of repair. But in the place known for ghostly activity, this only adds to the dread. This Art Deco structure was a bustling transportation hub for over half a century. Despite the fact that the last train left in 1979, reports of moving apparitions and the feelings of being watched indicate that the BCT is still very much alive. Ghostbusters recommend starting at the baggage claim area. Look out for a woman named Rose, where the station's overall state of abandoned disrepair only adds to the eerie atmosphere. Number 2. The Amityville Horror House, Amityville. If you think of a haunted house, the Amityville Horror House is probably the first that comes to mind. The house, located in the town of Amityville on Long Island's South Shore, was the scene of a heinous murder. Ronald DeFeo Jr. murdered 6 members of his family in 1974. He was later convicted and is now serving a life sentence in prison. A year after the murders, a new family moved into the house, only to leave in less than a month after experiencing what appeared to be copious amounts of paranormal activity, including visions, bad odors, and very strange, creepy feelings. Though it is a private residence, the current owners would probably appreciate it if you did not take pictures, or simply walk up to the front door. Whether you believe the book or the horror film franchise it inspired, there's no doubt that some terrifying real-life events occurred in this otherwise charming-looking Dutch colonial-style abode at 112 Ocean Avenue. A young man murdered his parents and 4 siblings in their home in the early 1970s. When another family bought the house after the murders, they reported strange smells and feelings, as well as unexplainable foreboding visions. The family left after only 28 days. It is still a private residence, so don't be the person who takes a selfie in front of it. Serious. Simply do not.
Okay guys, so in all my videos, I always tell people this. So basically, what I want to say is, so me and my family want to purchase a house, right? So the thing with that is, when I purchased my first house, I'm definitely going to look into the history of it, also know about the land, if it's tainted, if anybody passed away in the house, just everything in the book. I'm definitely going to be doing my research when I do my first house, because I do not want to buy a house and then, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but you never know. So I'm just saying in general. So if I was to purchase a house, and then, because I know some realtors are not supposed to tell you who passed away in the house just because of not privacy, but they wouldn't tell you that because, I feel like they wouldn't tell you that, because in the long run, the house will just be sitting there for a long time, or they won't tell you because, you know, it's going to interrupt their wages. I'm not really sure like why they don't tell you, but when I buy my first house, I'm definitely going to be looking into the history of it, and also knowing about the land, what houses were built on the land before that one was built. Just a lot of stuff you got to ask these realtors, because they don't tell you certain things unless you don't ask. So that's what I'm definitely going to do. And plus, this one is kind of creepy because a family lived in this house and they moved out within 28 days. That's crazy. So that means the paranormal activity was tremendously out of control. And plus, they smell odors of things, of people, I don't know, of the dead or whatever they want to call it. Strange odors, seeing things. And then they said that you visit this place, you can't even take pictures in front of it, which is crazy. Which I want to take pictures of a house that has dead people in it. I'm not gonna lie. That's just my preference, but people do that. There's paranormal activity. There's people that do this for a living, so they probably would do it. I'll have them do it, but I'm not doing it. But let me know your comments down. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, okay?
Number 1. Palmyra Historical Museum, Palmyra. 6 children and a young mother were killed in a fire at this former three-family home in 1964. Over the years, museum visitors have reported a variety of strange occurrences, including an ash-like odor in the basement, toys flying off the shelves, the sensation of having one's clothes or hair tugged, and even a phantom feline. Palmyra, located east of Rochester, was the site of a tragic house fire in 1964 that killed 6 children and their mother. The house has since been turned into a museum. However, visitors have been visibly frightened by...
Alright guys, so we're at the end of this video, and basically I was very shocked about the list of places in New York, Buffalo, Palmyra, and Geneva or I think it was in Geneva. One of the places were in Geneva. I was really shocked about the list, but also I wanted to tell you guys, I'm thinking about exploring this tunnel that's under, like, near my house. It's like walking distance is about 15 minutes. Driving distance is about half of that. And I want to tell you a story about why this place is haunted. So, in 1930s, New York had a subway. And our subway would go underground. It was an underground subway. So basically it got demolished because people were getting killed, people were getting jacked, people were getting robbed, and just a lot of things would happen under the subway. But people would use that as transportation to get to their destinations if there was like no buses or things like that. So basically what happened was this girl, I think she was like a 14-year-old girl, and I think she committed suicide on the bridge. And when she threw her body into the water, which is the river behind my house, it's called the Genesee River. There's been multiple reports about deaths happening in that river, people jumping off the bridge and just stuff like that, and people's been dying, I'll say like every other year. Something will happen, bodies will be found in the water and things like that. So back to the story. So this girl, I think she committed suicide and she jumped into the water. She drowned, and the current had swept her body to where the library is downtown, and I guess they found her body like against the library wall. So basically she was missing, and they found her body. It was swept up against the bridge, the wall of the library. So to this day, people reported seeing this lady, this little girl, or whatever you want to call her, teenager or whatever. They report that they see her, especially in the tunnel, and they also see her, like they'll hear moans and groans like in the basement of the library. I've only been in the library, yeah, it's kind of crazy because I've been in New York all my life, so born and raised and everything. And as an adult, I've only been in the library about 3 times. And when you look it up about haunted places in New York, that's one of the places that are haunted to this day. I know TAP came out to investigate, and I think ghost hunters came and investigated, but they didn't find no evidence of the girl or woman, whatever you want to call it, under the bridge. But she haunts the location. So my fiance brought up, saying, let's go try to explore it. And me, I'm a big baby when it comes to paranormal, anything scary. I can't even do haunted houses, guys. Like, me and my family and my kids went to a haunted house last year. I could not, even though it's fake, and there's people dressed up as these characters. It's scary, guys, because just the way they know how to act and scare you. So they're taught to scare you. But that's just like if I was to explore an abandoned building, a state asylum that's been haunted for years and has been abandoned for a long time. And I don't know, I'm just a big baby when it comes to stuff like that because I don't want anything to go wrong. I don't know the precautions what people take when they enter a haunted buildings or haunted sightings, whatever you want to call it. So I don't know, guys. I was thinking about exploring it, but during the day, I wouldn't do it at night just because the river's right there, and God forbid anything hopefully does not happen. But during the day, I told him I would probably do it, but I don't know at this moment. I just don't want nothing bad to happen. A couple months they found a body under the bridge again, so that's the only thing I'm scared of, really. So leave your comments and thoughts in the comment section, and also share the videos and get them to get recommended, and also share them. I love you guys so much, and thank you guys for watching. Bye.